All right, so welcome to section 3. So this will be biology section of your science course. So you've already done physics, you already done earth science. Both of these should have been relatively quick. This one is a little bit longer, so we're going to have less practice and more lecture. So there are 10 different lectures. There will be 10 parts to this. You will have a quiz after each lecture in order to move on to the next lecture. You must pass it with at least 7 out of 10 correctly, or you must go back and rewatch the lecture. You will have guided notes to go along with each lecture. Basically, 10 parts. We will have a test after the first 5, and then we'll have a test after the last 5, and that'll be enough for you to complete the course. You are held to the standards of the EOC. You have to take the EOC for biology. Everything that you have learned so far will help you with that. If you are having trouble with anything, you need to do research on your own time as well as ask your teacher for any help. So moving on, we are doing biology. This is part 1, so this is just your intro. So biology actually means the study of life. So ology is the study of, bio meaning life. So whenever we talk about this, it is living organisms. We are not talking about chemicals, we're not talking about rocks, we're not talking about the processes of which the earth move. We're talking about the organisms on earth that live. So cell structure is a theme of biology. We will discuss cell structure and function throughout this course. In fact, part 2 and 3 and 4 will be mostly dealing with how cell structure works and how the systems work. Now, if we look at unicellular organisms, these are, or single-celled organisms, only have one, and multicellulars have many cells that are composed of different jobs in order to maintain life. So this is called differentiation. Um, Stability or homeostasis is the ability of an organism to maintain stability in an internal environment. So if your body is at homeostasis, that means all of your systems are working well with each other. That means that you will be able to survive throughout the time that you're in homeostasis. Once there is something wrong, that's when you get sick and your body works to try to fix it. Reproduction or inheritance is what happens in order for your organism to continue to exist. Without reproduction, that organism goes extinct. So whether something causes the reproduction to stop or it stops reproducing on its own, it will become extinct. But reproduction is only possible with DNA and it being replicated. So this is the information of all living things. We are all made up of carbon. So everything on Earth has some sort of DNA strand that is going to be in common with each other. These carry instructions on how to reproduce, how for the living organisms to continue to live, how to adapt. That is the importance of DNA. So segments of DNA are called genes. So when we get into heredity, we're going to be talking about DNA and genes. So sexual reproduction happens with two parts of the same individual, or so this would be plant life mostly, and or you could have forms of two separate individuals. So that means a female sex and a male sex. So depending on what you are looking at, in which kind of uh, organism. Asexual reproduction is when a individual splits into two. So hereditary information is not combined. It will just completely be the same DNA. So it is two different individuals, but there will be the same DNA. Bacteria does this. Evolution is the study of how species change over a long period of time and how they adapt, so how they relate to each other. So natural selection is the basis of which we study evolution. Natural selection determines which organism survives and which organism does not. So which one can adapt and live longer or reproduce more, and which ones cannot. Interdependence of organisms is the study of how organisms interact with one another in their environment. Their environments include ecosystems, so like how they different are they are. Ecosystems are like all the way from rainforest to tundra to desert. Then you have ecology, is how we interact with the organisms around us, how the organisms interact with us. So ecology would study a system like a forest system or a system of how humans interact with their local ecosystem. Bless me. Uh, So matter energy organization, this is how organisms obtain energy and need things to live. So how we gather our energy from different things, how plants gather their energy from the sun, for instance, with photosynthesis. So autotrophs, which are plants, are organisms that obtain energy without by making their own food. So they don't have to devour something else. So heterotrophs, which would be us and animals, we either eat plants or other animals in order to gain our energy to survive. So the characteristics of life. So in order to see something as living, it must move. So if it moves, if you have digestion or beating heart, that would be movement. Or if you're able to move from point A to point B, that shows that you are alive. Responsiveness is how a organism responds to change. So for instance, if you hack off a flower from a plant, normally that plant will be able to regrow or adapt to that change in its plant or in its existence. Growth is also a way to see how it works. So cell count or the size of an object, how it grows, is a characteristic of life. Reproduction, if you are able to make a new individual, you are alive. If you are breathing, if you take in oxygen and use that to release energy in food, you are going to see respiration. Digestion is the chemical process of breaking down food. If you digest, you are alive. Absorption, if a substance passes through certain membranes, that is a living object. So if you cannot absorb something, if you are not a living object. Circulation is the movement of a substance within body fluids. So like the circulation of blood or the circulation of oxygen through the blood. And assimilation is the changing of absorbed substance once they come in the body. So how we change that substance into energy. And excretion is the removal of waste. So if you remove waste, this is what shows that you're living. So all characteristics of life depends on the physical and chemical changes that occur. This is called metabolism. So all changes are called metabolism. The microscope, we will go more into the microscope when we go over cells. The scientific method, though, this is something that you have been drilled about since you were in elementary school. It is anywhere from 4 to 6 steps, depending on what you need for your problem. And those steps include state the problem, make observations. Of course, observations are anything that is around you with your senses. Hypothesis, what can I do to make this problem go away, or how can I fix this problem? And that is an educated guess. You cannot be proven, only be proven that you are incorrect. So you can say a hypothesis, but it cannot be proven unless it is replicated and tested during the experiment overall. So the experiment is how we test our hypothesis. Experimental group, this is the group that contains the variables. Control group is the one that you are using for comparison. So controls and constants, items that are kept constant because they may change the results of the experiment. So that is what we are doing with this. You can, if you are testing how fast a predator can wipe out the food in a system, you don't want to add more predators to the system in order to double it. So you're just looking at that control. Independent variable, independent variable, independent variable is something that you are changing throughout the experiment, and the dependent is what is dependent on the independent. See how many times I can say dependent. All right, you collect the results and you form a conclusion based on those results. So you're either saying that your hypothesis is correct, your hypothesis was incorrect, or that something was changing throughout time. So drawing conclusions can be done in several different ways. So you have theory, which is a broad, comprehensive statement that is thought to be true. So the theory of relativity, it can be supported through considerable evidence, but it can never be completely proven. So inference is a conclusion that is based on the observations. So you can infer or you can assume that this is always going to be true based on what you have seen throughout your testing. And then model, which shows a representation of an object system and shows the relationship among data. All right, so this is part one. Once you finish this, you will then need to complete complete your quiz, and then you can move on to part two if you score 7 or higher. Each quiz is 10 questions. Good luck. I hope you learn a lot and enjoy this course. I realize that it is a lot of lecture, but this is something that has to be more given to you than hands-on in this situation.